Hey everybody, today we're going to work on the first 4 bars of the Schumann, just the right hand. And we're going to employ a technique that can only be used when you're playing slow legato passages. And that technique involves coming up on the finger without lifting that finger prior to coming down with it. So let's see how that works. The amount of weight needed to push down a key on a Steinway grand in this area is 48 grams, which comes to 1.7 ounces. But your hand, if you took your hand, cut it off from your wrist and just weighed it, it weighs about a pound. So you can push these notes down by just placing the weight of your hand over the note. And watch what I mean by this. I'm going to lift my wrist up so that the weight of my hand is over the note and the note goes down. Because you have 16 ounces of weight here and you only need 1.7 ounces of weight to push this down. And I'm going to call this type of playing with an up wrist. So we have something like this. So in each of these cases, I'm simply moving my wrist up so that when I'm done, the finger, you can see, is vertical. It's perpendicular to the keyboard. It's vertical, pointing down. And what that means is my wrist is totally relaxed at that point. See, if I did this, see now this is tight, my whole arm up to my elbow is tight, and I can't move my fingers. So this you're going to have to practice and get a feel for. And I want to do it without rhythm first. Just so you get a feel for each of these fingers and what you have to do. So we're going to begin with the index finger on B and just practice lifting up your wrist until the finger is vertical. And I would recommend taking your left hand, placing it under your right wrist, and simply moving the wrist up and forward. And try not to move the finger. You're just rolling up onto the pad, up to the pad of the finger. You're rolling up and then pointing down with that finger. The wrist is high, everything's relaxed. So when you come off the piano, everything's relaxed. And next up is the pinky, or the 5th finger on G. Now, if you're a beginner, you haven't played a lot, or if you've been playing many years the wrong way and you just haven't gotten anywhere, this will probably be a difficult maneuver for you. It's very difficult if you don't have this ability, if you haven't developed this ability, to extend your 5th finger. It's very difficult to do that and to have control over that while that finger is extended. Now, extension is the straightening of the finger, and in piano power, I talk about extension, flexion, abduction, adduction of the fingers, and all the muscles related to these moves. So I want to show you what happens if I don't extend this 5th finger and go up on it. Now I'm sliding around on the nail. Finger is flexed, and I've lost control of this. So we want to extend that finger. It's very difficult. This is a really hard maneuver. And then, while the finger is extended, push your wrist forward. And you can do this on a tabletop. It doesn't matter. You don't have to practice this stuff on the piano. You could do it For instance, on my leg. I extend my finger and I move up. And just get a feel for that. Okay, the next maneuver is going to be playing this F sharp with the fourth finger. And whenever you play on black keys, doesn't matter what finger, you have to play with an extended finger. Because if you don't, if you play with a flex finger, there's a chance that you'll fall off. So it's much easier to just flatten that finger out and play at about a 45-degree angle this way to the slant of the key this way. So we're going to come up on the fourth finger. Fourth finger is extended. And then we're going to replace it with the fifth finger as we're going up. And we're going to finish at the highest point on the fifth finger. And notice that the fifth finger is sitting on its pad again. So watch that maneuver again. F sharp, replace it with 5, and you're rising up. Watch this. I start low, I start moving up, I'm moving up, I'm moving up, and I replace it with my fifth finger. So all these little maneuvers you're going to have to practice because it's a completely new thing for you. So let's look at the first 3 notes. So we have B, no rhythm at this point. Just want to get a feeling for what we have to do physically to produce the sound and to feel comfortable. So here's B, second finger. I go up, I come down. My fifth finger is hovering over this G and it's extended. I go up, it's vertical. I come down. I go up to the F sharp with my fourth finger and I replace it with my pinky. Okay, now the next maneuver is a little tricky because we ended up here on the fifth finger on the F sharp. Fingers vertical. We're on the pad of the fifth finger. And watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to come down. I'm going to play 2 notes. I'm going to play E, D as I'm rising up. And I'm going to finish my highest point on the third finger, which is on D. So watch that again. So we would play the F sharp with 4, replace it, and then come back down. The E goes to the D with the third finger. All right? So at this point we have this. B, we go up to the G, which that's a hard maneuver. We go down and then up to the fourth. Replace the fourth with the fifth. We come down again and we put the fourth finger on E and roll forward to that D, and we're on the pad of the third finger. Okay? Which means it's extended a little bit. Now the next maneuver involves using a metronome. Why do we use a metronome? Because we want to play in time. Why do we want to play in time? Because all musicians play in time and it sounds really good when you play in time, and it's also very difficult to play in time. It requires a lot of muscular control. So the reason I'm showing you this, my phone, is that there's a really nice metronome app. It looks like that. Let me see if I can focus in on it. There it is. And if you click on it, tap on it, whatever, it's called Pro Metronome. And I don't want to discuss anything about this, any of the features of it. All you have to do is, if you turn this wheel here, you'll see the numbers over here changing. And 105 means there's 105 beats per minute. So if you had it on 60, that would be 60 beats per minute, or that's 1 second, okay? So my metronome is on 60, and this is what I'd like you to do. We're going to do the ups. We're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And whenever you say 1, you're going to do the up motion on the note. So it'd be like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The down motion of the wrist is going to happen on the third beat. So it'll look and sound like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, down. Okay, here's the F sharp. 1, 2, down, up, up. That's a hard one. Watch that F sharp again. Up, 2, 3, up, up. If I'm counting, 1, 2, 3, up, up, 2, 3. And we're going very slowly, and when you play slowly, it's very difficult and requires tremendous muscular control, and your fingers develop much faster when you're playing slowly. So let's go through the first 4 bars using this technique and see how you do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, up, 2, down, up, 2, down, up, 2, 3, up, up, 2, down, up, 2, down, up, 2, down, up, 2, 3, up, up, 2, 3. So now that we've added time to the mix, spend some time just playing these notes on 1. So you do something like this, and you can repeat these notes over and over again until they feel comfortable for you. So we have 1, 2, 3, B, 2, off, B, 2, B. And I'm just rolling up on the finger on the first beat. Now I do pinky on G. This is hard. 1, 2, 3. I roll. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then take your F sharp. 1, 2, and change your fingers. 1, 2. Change on 2. 1, change. 3. 1, 2, 3. And go through the whole thing, the whole 4 bars like that until you feel totally comfortable. And over time, if you do this a lot, it'll get easier and easier. So that's all I want to cover for today, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.